So welcome guys to my YouTube channel. I just wanted to start this video by giving you a brief history of my life. Maybe I'll have a sit down video and actually go into detail, but I thought it was fair for me to start by giving you a small tour of my home, my previous home, or where I called home for the last 2 years. And before I relocate, because I'm actually relocating to another property that is a bit bigger, and maybe I'll tell you later on why I had to move. So I think it's just fair for me to start by giving you a small tour of a place that I called a home for the last two years and some months. Okay, it was a small property, 50 by 100, and I'll give you a story how I acquired it or how I managed to be here. So this is just a small tour, and I wanted to see how I wanted to develop it, because my journey is all about encouraging single ladies or single mothers. I want you guys to know that you can be able to do it and how you can do it. I'm not saying that I'm perfect myself, or I even know what I'm doing, but I just want you guys to see that it's doable, that anybody can achieve their dreams. So maybe I'll explain further in another sit down video or something. So for today, it's just a small tour of the small property and what I was able to do today in trying to develop it into a home. It was supposed to be my dream home, but now I've changed my mind, and I'll tell you guys later. So as you can see, I managed to fence it. This is my small gate, and I hope that you guys are not going to judge me. This was just me trying to use what was available as I was trying to save some coins. So that is how I managed to make my gate, my small gate. So that is how you open it, and that is how you close it. It's just a measure and some sticks and any available material. So once you get in, as I said, it is 50 by 100. Once you get in, I was able to plant some trees, and the kind of trees here is called gravelia, I think. So there was the barbed wire and the mesh wire. That is my doggy. So I was able to partition it into a small kitchen garden after the main gate. That was supposed to be the main gate. Sadly now I don't have lots of crops, so yeah, so we continue. I used to plant some vegetables here. It was actually a very thriving garden. I had some kale, some spinach, that is some butternut. I know now it looks very ugly and overtaken by weeds. But these are kales or sukuma wiki that used to feed us for some very many months. It took a lot of love and labor for me to plant them. So I'm all about sustainability and growing your own food, knowing where your food comes from. So I'm a strong believer in that. I'm now gearing into permaculture actually, and I'm trying to get some lessons here and there. So from the kales, because of the small property now that I had, I started becoming innovative, and I'm not sure whether you guys can see, there are some old yellow sacks inside there and some old kales. I used to plant sukuma wiki there as well, what we call what do we call it? Okay, moving on, we have I used to hang my clothes on the line there because I didn't have a cloth line yet. This is my outside toilet and bathroom. That's my bathroom. It's not finished yet. That's my pit latrine. I don't know whether you guys are going to be grossed out, but that is what we were using at the moment because we didn't have a flushable toilet inside the house since I had not built a permanent house. So I had to survive with what I had. So that was me in also making just a dough by local materials. That was my leftover drum or barrel that I used to make the dough. Okay, so that was my toilet, and those are my cloth line. That is my cloth line. That is where I used to hang my clothes. As I said, we just survived with what we had. That was my kitchen garden over there. It was a bit big and it was very beautiful and thriving. I was so passionate about that garden, guys. You can't even believe it. So those are my building materials that were left over. That is the sand ballast. No, what do you call it? Yeah, I think it's ballast. And some more clothes there. Some more trees. And that is my sand that was left over after building the toilet and the semi-permanent house, what we call a site house. I think everybody needs a site house, so my idea was I build a site house that I can live in as I prepare or as I save money to build a house in that space. So what you're looking at from the garden, that was where the house was supposed to be built. It could fit a bungalow, double story. It was enough space. So this was my water tank that I was supposed to put on top of the toilet so that I can get water from, I can buy water and the lorry didn't have to come inside the property. It can just fill up my water tank outside the gate and I could pump it through maybe gravity to my kitchen. That is my outside kitchen. I used to cook outside sometimes and I didn't have charcoal or gas. I don't know whether you guys have such. Those are the joys of actually having your own property. I'm sure you cannot do this in a rented apartment. That was my leftover timber, wood. I used to light my fire with and boil some water, etc. Some more clothes and my big trees. These trees were such a labor of love. I really did struggle to plant those trees and water them during the dry season. So it is such a beautiful sight seeing them grow tall and green and lush. So the next owner will be very lucky to find them planted and grown. That is another water tank. As you know, I was saying, as you know, it's very dry in this area. I think it's semi-arid or even arid. It's very dry. Sometimes you cannot see anything green. Like right now, it was such a miracle that we had a lot of rain. And it's unfortunate we didn't get to enjoy a lot of rain because the 2 years that I stayed here, Oh, I really suffered. It was so dry. I used to buy water all the time. So it is just wonderful to see the greenery all around now. So those are my avocados that I had shown you guys from the previous video. They are ready to be transported now to their permanent home. They'll not be in bags, and I cannot wait to plant them on the ground. Actually, I really love avocados, and my favorite dish is githeri with avocado. Githeri is a mixture of beans and corn. It's a basic meal, but I really do love it, and it's healthy. So those are my trees. The back of the house, they're so tall, you guys, so tall. Like, I am so jealous. This owner is going to enjoy some beautiful trees, and she'll have some windbreakers. The wind will not be very strong. As for me, I really did serve her. So this is my semi-permanent house. It didn't even have windows, and the material here is called a drum. They are drums. They are not iron sheet. They are barrels that is used to store what do you call it? The material that is used to make roads or something. I'm forgetting the name. So these were the door, not the small gate that I was telling you guys that I had to remove it because I need to take it to my new property. This was my house, which was 2-bedroomed, a single and a bathroom, a small bathroom inside, and a sitting room. These were my basins, and I used to have solar. I'm all about sustainability. So yeah, I don't think I'll show you inside the house. It's a bit disorganized. It's all over the place, and I can tell you for sure I had some plants that I wanted to carry to my new property, like the aloe vera. There's some lemongrass, because I don't have such in my new property. So another thing that I'm so passionate about is the green energy. So we'll discuss more later on. So that is my property, you guys. That is my solar panel. This thing has sustained me for almost 4 years. I'll show you later on how we used to charge our devices and have some lights in the house. So that is more aloe vera, more plants of foraged in the forest, and that is my small house that we called a home for 2 years. It did serve me, and I really did enjoy staying here, and I managed to get some lessons that I'll tell you guys later on, and why I need to move to a bigger property. Okay, so that is me. That is my property, and be here for the next one that I'm going to show you guys. I think maybe the next video, and then maybe you can have a sit down and tell you guys why I had to move, advantages and disadvantages of living in town and in the village or off-grid, because that is actually where I'm moving to. I do love living off-grid, and I'm more into sustainability, etc.